way in which that can happen. So that's the veterans, that's the homeless. Now, for police, I've been stating since day one that we need to reinstitute community policing. Police need to have an intimate relationship with those that they are to serve and protect. And you need to know who they are as well. See, they can't do their jobs without you. They can't find that criminal without you. You are the ones that give them the information they need to be successful. But you're not going to, at this point in time, most of the police officers you don't trust. So we have to rekindle that trust. Now, the governor put together a bipartisan, diverse task force made up of clergy, made up of lawmakers, made up of Democrats and Republicans to look at this situation. And they've gone around the state and they've talked to various communities. They have now come up with a series of recommendations, many of which I totally agree with and I'm going to support. But it doesn't matter what recommendations you have if the police do not buy into them. So we need to have special training for our police. See, the police have the mentality, folks, of returning home to their families. They're told that every day. When you leave here, make sure you get back. Well, guess what? They make sure they get back. Why? Because they tell themselves, if something goes down, I'm going to pull my gun first. They're into enforcing the law rather than to protect and serve. So we have to do something about that mentality. We have to change that mentality. We have 1,900 police officers. We don't need any more.
Nope.
They just need to be trained.
Mm-hmm.
They need to receive sensitivity training. Cities of our comparable size don't have nearly the number of police officers we have, but they don't have nearly the crime that we have. So it's not just police officers. We have to deal with our own mentality too, folks. We really do.
Right.
Okay? We have to realize how we need to relate to the authority figure. And we have to recruit more of our own. There are going to be some police officers that are going to want to leave the department because we're going to put that kind of pressure on them to be retrained. Well, that might be a good thing because now it leaves room for us to recruit some minorities, some new Americans that can represent their culture, can represent their communities on the police force, on the fire department. That's what we need. And finally, in 2009, our income taxes were increased. And that income tax generates over $100 million annually. I'll say that again. Over $100 million annually. That's an awful lot of money. But now, our city auditor is saying we're close to being in the red. Well, where did all that extra money go? Well, I tell you this, day one, after I'm elected, I'm going to put together my own Blue Ribbon Task Force to look at our budget, look at our spending trends, to see where these dollars are actually going. And within 90 days of my oath of office, I'll have a report on my desk that I'm going to share with the public exactly what the results of that task force process was. We're going to talk about this. And I'm going to tell you something else. Today, I found out that the city spends millions, multi-millions of dollars to purchase electricity. Marks it up to sell to us. Well, they got to mark it up, because they have to pay for maintenance and things of that nature. But they don't have to buy the electricity from where they're buying it from. They can buy it straight from the grid, and it would save millions of dollars. that means less of a markup. That means less of a bill for us, as well as less of a bill for our business partners, who we can then take their money and invest in our communities and get some things done. I'm sorry for taking so long to answer those questions, but I wanted to be crystal clear about what it is that we want to do, how we're going to pay for what we're talking about doing, because I don't believe in over-promising and under-delivering. What you hear from me tonight, make note, I'm going to do.
Here we go.
Thank you.